One of the key policies of the Labour government when they were elected in 1945 was nationalisation, their drive to nationalise industries where possible. And this was actually part of Clause 11 of the Labour Party's constitution. So it was an integral part of what they were committing to do in power. And they basically said that they wanted common ownership of the means of production, distribution and exchange. In effect, common ownership of public control meant government control to Labour. They wanted government, central government, to be in control of the main industries in the UK. But what is nationalisation? So, to be really simple, it's the process of transforming private assets into public assets by bringing them under the public ownership of a national government or state. It can occur with or without compensation. So forced nationalisation could occur where basically you're taking a business off somebody and it's going into the property of the state. It's going to be run by the state. Quite often, not for profit in some cases. And that is nationalisation. Of course, it's associated with socialism. It's associated with left-wing politics. Why do it? Well, first of all, it was to ensure a coordinated approach to production and supply, to ensure economic survival and efficiency in the face of war could be one reason to nationalise. But in this case, obviously, it's post-war. One thing they wanted to do is make things more efficient. They wanted to coordinate, say, the railways better. If there's one company in charge of all the railways in the country, then that might make them run better and it might create a better experience for the customer. Putting infrastructure in place also provides an extra benefit to other firms and individuals. So a railway network will reduce traffic on the roads, congestion, pollution, and so on. One large nationalised company can also buy more stock at better prices. If British Rail want to purchase, I don't know, railway tracks, then they'd be able to get a better price because they'd be able to buy more. They'd have more money to spend. Also, national ownership can lead to more stability, and an example of that would be the banking sector. Some banks have been renationalised recently in the UK, as recent as 2008 with Northern Rock. Some banks have been nationalised to stabilise them and to sort out their finances. So in 1945, some of the reasons for it were that people wanted to change. That was obviously a big thing. But also people liked this idea of everybody being in it together and everybody contributing to something that was going to benefit everybody in the country. And nationalisation certainly fell into that bracket. So between 1945 and 1951, most of the core industries in Britain were nationalised. So in 1946, the Bank of England was nationalised. 1947, the coal industry. 1948, the railways. And then 1949, finally, and this one was after some controversy and some negotiation, the iron and steel industries were nationalised in 1949. And this was part of what historians call the post-war consensus, because this nationalisation continued really all the way up to 1979 with Margaret Thatcher. And Thatcher obviously then denationalised and returned to private ownership most of the nationalised industries. Supporters of nationalisation would say that it ensures job security and wage security for key workers. Opponents would say it leads to production stagnation, less aspiration for employees if there's limited incentive. If it's not a profit-making business, then bonuses and such like won't exist. So the best might go elsewhere. And also some would argue that with no competition, it creates one price but a lower quality of service. We in a future tutorial are going to look at the success or failure of the government's nationalisation programme.